This is the story of Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam. In order to do nazar of Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam, you will have to wake up at around 3 a.m. on the night of 21st Rajab, make some puri, sweet tikkiyan, parathe, which is bread or sweet biscuits. People sometimes make kheer as well, which is custard. To do nazar, you have to face the Qibla.
Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad. Allahumma salli ala Muhammadin wa ali Muhammad.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين الرحمن الرحيم مالك يوم الدين إياك نعبد وإياك نستعين اهدنا الصراط المستقيم صراط الذين أنعمت عليهم غير المغضوب عليهم ولا الضالين أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم إنا أنزلناه في ليلة القدر وما أدراك ما ليلة القدر ليلة القدر خير من ألف شهر تنزل الملائكة والروح فيها بإذن ربهم من كل أمر سلام هي حتى مطلع الفجر أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد. اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
Then you say, I or we are giving this nazar in the name of Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam. You say any prayer, dua, wish, or desire that you want to come true. Once upon a time, there was a lumberjack who was very poor. He had almost no money, and he barely had enough money to feed his wife and kids. One day he told his wife that he would go into the city to find a better job, so then Allah would show some mercy on him. Unfortunately, he had bad luck. He thought that if he got some money, then he would be able to go back and see his wife and children. 12 years passed by, and he still had no money and wasn't able to visit his wife and kids. After the lumberjack had left, his wife waited for a couple of days, hoping that her husband would send in some money for them to survive. When things started getting really bad and she didn't even have enough food to feed herself or her kids, she went to the advisor's palace. There she got a job as a broomer or mopping person who cleans the floor, or janitor. There you go, janitor. One day she had a dream that she was working at the palace and she saw Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam had come with a few of his companions. The Imam asked, what is the date today? One of the companions said, today is the night of 21st Rajab. The Imam said, if anyone has any difficulty, that person should make bread or biscuits using 1.25 kilograms of flour, and during Fajr give nazar in the name of Allah and ask Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam for any wish or desire, then it would be fulfilled. When the wife heard this, she made the intention to do nazar on the night of the 21st. Then she was able to fulfill her intention and did the nazar. On the night she was doing the nazar, her husband was cutting wood in the city that day. Suddenly, the axe fell from the tree on which he was cutting. When he came down and tried to pull his axe out from the ground, it pulled out, and he thought that there was something in the ground. So he began to dig. Then pretty soon he found a treasure. He started taking out all the gold and jewels. Then he went home to his wife and kids and built a very big house and lived comfortably with his family. One day, the wife told her husband the date, because he asked her the date, and her husband remembered that it was the same day that he had found the treasure. The lumberjack then had full faith in Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam. One day, the advisor's wife was standing on the roof, and she saw a palace that was equal to theirs. The wife asked her servants, "Whose palace is that?" The servants told her that it was the lumberjack's palace, whose wife used to work as a janitor for them. The advisor's wife called the lumberjack's wife and asked what happened. The lumberjack's wife told her the entire story, but the advisor's wife did not believe her. Instead, she thought that the lumberjack might have stolen the money. The minute she thought this, one of the advisor's enemies told the king that the advisor was stealing from him. The king called the advisor and asked him if this was true. The advisor, unable to reply, was kicked out along with his family. The advisor and his family started walking, hungry and thirsty. Soon they came across a field of watermelons. They bought a watermelon and wrapped it in a piece of cloth so that they could eat it later when they find a peaceful place. On that same day, the king's son had gone hunting. The son had not returned. The advisor's enemy told the king that because you fired the advisor, perhaps he has killed the son. The king ordered his soldiers to capture the advisor and put him in prison. The soldiers went and captured the advisor and brought him back to the king. The advisor and his family had not eaten the watermelon they had brought. When the king saw the cloth, he thought that blood was coming out of it. When he opened the cloth, he saw his son's head instead of the watermelon. So the king began to cry and ordered the advisor to imprisonment, and that he would be executed. In the prison, the advisor asked his wife, "What kind of sin have we committed that we are suffering so badly?" The advisor's wife told the lumberjack's story and admitted that she did not believe her. The advisor told his wife, "What kind of a sin have you committed? You are calling the Imam a liar. Repent, ask for forgiveness." They both cried and asked for forgiveness and made the intention to do neither. The next morning, the prince returned from his hunting trip. The prince told the king that it had taken a long time to find some prey. When the king opened the napkin again, he saw the watermelon. The king called the advisor and asked what had happened. The advisor told him the story. The king also called the lumberjack. After listening to both of their stories, the king also had full faith in Imam Jafar-e-Sadiq Alaihis Salam. The king kicked out the enemy of his advisor, and everything was at peace again.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد